7 a.m. Coming up in the news at 7. And then the biggest issues dissected, interrogated and discussed on the front page. Nationwide this morning fires you up and sets you right for the remainder of the day.
And there's much more until 9 a.m. Want to know which roads to avoid on your morning commute?
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean.
Listen to Street Smart.
Want to hear more about things happening at the community level outside the bustling corporate area? Listen to Across Jamaica.
George, it's someone's birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah, my friend.
And that someone will hear a special greeting every morning via the Birthday Club.
Nationwide this morning on the revolution in media.
It's coffee, tea, and everything else
For those who want an energetic, rip-roaring start to their day.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You are joining the show the week that was, where we review the stories of last week and, of course, give an insight into what to expect next week. But this segment, or winners and losers of the week, that was, we ask our analyst or panel to tell us who they think won the week or lost the week. And of course, they will give their reasons as to why they came to the conclusion that they did. So first of all, I will take the winners of the week, and I'll start with you, Emma.
Yes, my winner of the week is the Office of the Children's Advocate. They hosted an excellent event on Monday evening on the topic called Dinner and Conversations, on the topic of corporal punishment for children, obviously. And it was very well done, well moderated, very good discussions. Didn't get much play in the media, unfortunately, but she is definitely my winner because she tackled this highly sensitive and complicated subject really well.
Okay, all right, and your winner,
The
Gerard?
winner of the week I gave to the governor of the Bank of Jamaica for his attempt in trying to shake the banking sector into submission as it regards Jamdex. It's also the first time I've seen him really been so vociferous in saying to the bank that, listen, enough is enough. For that, I make him. My issue now is how far will he go? If it's just banter, or will it be a real concerted effort to shake the banking sector into submission, to say, you now need to be more customer-centric. You have been reporting profit and boasting about it. Now it's time you look at the poor consumers out there who are struggling.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Excellent analysis, actually. So the losers of the week. Let me start with you, Durant.
Well, for me, it would be Dr. Chang. He put his foot in his mouth. It is uncharacteristic of him because he's really a statesman. He has always acted in that way. This is the first so-called blunder in my estimation. I think he should apologize. I think he needs to explain that he misspoke. Yes, he's passionate about the police and the fact that he believes that JFJ is unjustly targeting them. I don't believe JFJ is targeting. JFJ is holding firm to its mandate to look at human rights, particular as it regards civil society. It's not that they're not concerned about the police force and the security forces. The security forces have their association that does that.
Indeed. Okay.
But Dr. Chang put his foot in his mouth.
Okay. And for you, Emma?
My loser of the week was CARICOM. And I'll tell you why. They're meeting this is their 50th meeting. They have been around for half a century now. I'm wondering, what are the real solid achievements? I mean, the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, 2001, that was the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Only 4 countries have signed on to it fully. And the Caribbean Court of Justice, again, another fundamental CARICOM institution, has only 5 countries have fully signed on to it as an appellate court.
Yes.
And, where are they going? They talk about unity, but even the CCJ was established 25 years ago.
And still not all of.
Why is this, they're in the doldrums.
Got you. So the winners of the week the winners of the week, the Office of the Children's Advocate and the Bank of Jamaica Governor, Richard Biles. Again, wonderful event put on by the Office of the Children's Advocate, and certainly Richard Biles, the governor there, pushing and prodding and showing that there are things that the banks need to do and pushing for that to be done. Your question is, how far will he go? And certainly for the losers of the week, for you, Emma Caricom, a lot to be said.
Yeah.
And the CCJ just being the start of that. Yes. And for you, Sir Durant, it was Dr. Horace Jang, the foot in mouth, as you call it, moment in saying blood money. And you're of the view that he should retract and just explain that he misspoke, because he's a statesman, and that's how he's always operated. Very well. So there you have the winners and losers of the week. You've seen for yourself, and of course you can tell us your winners and losers of the week if you're watching on YouTube. Well, up next we're going to ask our analysts to give us an insight in the reporter's notebook. What comes next week? What comes tomorrow morning and for the rest of the week? What should we be looking out for? What should we expect in the week that's coming?
The vibes, the laughs, and the real talk, then you're one of us. Don't just listen, belong. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon.
Tune in to Cliffviews Online with George Davis on Monday, March 2 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. live from Homewood Technical High School as they celebrate 90 years of empowering generations and officially open a new classroom block. We'll be on the ground to describe all the excitement that is to come at Homewood Technical. Look forward to performances by the school's musical band, lighting of 90th anniversary lamp, and more. It's all going down at Homewood Technical High School. Tune in to Cliffviews Online with George Davis on Monday, March 2 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. live from Homewood Technical High School for the 90 Years of Empowering Generations celebration. Catch this and so much more on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or keep your radio locked to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the National Education Trust.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Welcome back to the week that was, your weekly review program of the major stories that shaped the past week and give an informed look at what lies ahead. We are almost at the end of the show, but before we go, we have to look at the week ahead. And certainly, what are the top stories that we are keeping our eyes on for next week? Starting with you, Emma.
For me, top stories are almost always environmental stories,
Okay.
so forgive me, but Tuesday, March the 3rd is World Wildlife Day.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to a big event up at UWI, which is being launched by a young graduate student, Nicholas Lee, and it's a collective for local and endemic wildlife. What he wants to do is bring people together to connect more closely with nature, to improve the level of research, scientific research, action programs, and to get a sort of real media thing going.
Okay.
So you will be hearing more from Nicholas.
Got you on that. And what's on your radar for...
My top 2 would be the war in Iran
Uh-huh.
and what's happening in Cuba. For Cuba, the administration has said that it is willing to talk, but it sees that there shall be no regime change. Well, I would want to see how that plays out. And as for Iran, what next? They have taken out the leader. We see where they have retaliated. Will these retaliatory attacks continue with the American Israeli bombardment continues? How will the global community react? So that's what I'm looking for.
So those are the 2 things you're looking at for this
I have
week.
one more thing, sorry.
Go right ahead, Emma. Have a little
the
time.
International Seabed Authority is meeting right now in downtown Kingston. That's their headquarters. That's a UN entity, and they're looking at deep sea mining and the rules that relate to that. They want to get all the countries on board with rules and regulations, because of course Trump wants to go off and do his own thing with that, and so people are concerned about that. Why that's relevant to Jamaica is that years ago, Mike Henry, when he was Minister of Mining, signed a contract with a company to mine the deep sea in the Pacific, in a specific area of the Pacific Ocean. So Jamaica has an interest in that, although at the moment we're just sitting on the sidelines. But and we host, it's the headquarters.
The headquarters, the International Seabed Authority,
is
sits
here,
in Jamaica.
right
down
here,
the road.
just down the road,
Right,
yes.
right. So we do have a international entity headquartered in
Right.
Jamaica. So
Yeah.
It's
also
actually the only one.
The only one.
Only one.
The only one. Well, there we go. So there you have it, folks. They've given you what's on their radar for next week. Of course, before we go, I have to give you what I think will dominate the news story. It comes on the back end of the week on Friday, and it is the sentencing of Julian Silvero that will be done on March 6th. So it will not be, a normal week, as some would say, and the proceedings will be live streamed for the nation to witness. In an era where transparency is no longer a luxury but a necessity, this moment is significant. Justice must not only be seen to must not only be done, but be seen to be done. And in seeing it, we are reminded that the rule of law stands above personalities, above power, and above public opinion. The live stream is more than just access. It is accountability in action. It allows every Jamaican, from Kingston to Montego Bay, from Morant Bay to Negril, to observe the solemn work of the court and to understand the duties of attorneys at law and their role in the court process. It is a reminder that our institutions, though imperfect, remains pillars of stability. But let us approach this moment with sobriety. Sentencing is not a spectacle. It is not entertainment. It is the culmination of a legal process, one grounded in evidence, procedure, and principle. The rule of law, case law. Emotions will run high. Opinions will flood timelines. Commentary will fill the airwaves. But our duty as citizens is not merely to react, but to reflect. And certainly, what you will see on display March 6th is the duty of attorneys at law in full flare. So next week also represents something larger than one case. It is a week to examine how we speak about justice, how we access justice, a week to consider the standards that we demand from institutions and ourselves, a week to ask whether we are building a culture rooted in accountability or one fueled by outrage alone. So as we step into next week, let us do so informed, balanced, and thoughtful. Watch the proceedings if you can. I'd urge you to. Listen carefully, listen to the arguments from both sides, legal, factual, and otherwise. The plea in mitigation is what will be done by his defense attorneys at law. Speak responsibly, having watched it, and remember that democracy is not sustained by noise. It is sustained by participation, vigilance, and respect for the rule of law. Certainly, we can't wait to see how it will unfold, and I'm hoping that you will watch it. So that's it, folks, for the week that was. Another episode, Nationwide's news review of the major stories that shaped the past week and provided an informed look at what lies ahead. I'd like to thank our panelists for joining me today, veteran journalist Durant Pitt and blogger and environmental activist Emma Lewis. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I am yours truly, Saeed Bernard. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. That is the week that was.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online with George Davis on Monday, March 2 from 10 a.m. to 1